Hollywood loves neat endings. Tyler Perry practically trademarked them. Grandmother wisdom, final prayer, roll credits. But in boardrooms across Atlanta and Los Angeles, one unfinished sentence keeps echoing. Why does Eddie Murphy make him nervous? Comedian Katt Williams swears the answer could detonate careers because behind Perry's billion-dollar smile lies a rumor network so fragile that a single phone call, unreturned by the way, might bring it all down. If that sounds dramatic, good. Buckle up. We're about to trace a line from Eddie's first SNL roar in July 2025, pulling every secret thread Katt Williams, Jaguar Wright, Monique, and even Ice Cube claim they've been yanking for years. The lightning is already in the sky. Tonight we follow the thunder. 19 years old, stage left, Saturday Night Live on life support. Eddie grabs the mic. America gasps. Ratings pulse back to life. From there, 48 Hours, Beverly Hills Cop, Raw, Coming to America. A one-man cultural reset in under a decade. When award season arrived, he shrugged. Hollywood hates when you shrug. In 2007, Eddie's Dreamgirls performance swept critics' lists, but Oscar night crowned Alan Arkin instead. Pundits blamed a last-minute backlash tied to Eddie's raunchy comedy Norbit. Insiders whispered it was payback for refusing campaign trail glad-handing. That snub became legend. Not because Eddie cried foul, he simply walked away, flashlight in hand, searching for the next story he wanted to tell, not the one the studios assigned. Authenticity like that terrifies power brokers. It can't be mortgaged. If Eddie represents talent the machine can't remold, what does that make the machine's favorite success story? Born Emmett Perry Jr. in New Orleans, he rechristened himself Tyler after years of abuse from his father. Therapy came in the form of journal writing, which grew into stage plays, which, after a stretch of Atlanta homelessness, exploded into sold-out tours. In 2005, Lionsgate gambled on Perry's Chitlin Circuit fandom and released Diary of a Mad Black Woman. The $5 million film grossed $50 million. Soon, the Medea brand alone approached a cumulative box office haul near $1 billion. Perry built a 330-acre studio on a former Confederate Army base, and in 2021 accepted the Academy's Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award, Hollywood's gold-plated declaration that he played the game exactly right. But formula breeds comfort, and comfort invites critique. Academics crunching numbers found that in 73% of Perry's films, the female lead endures intimate partner violence before the halfway mark, while male villains outnumber positive male figures 4-1. Those ratios stung longtime fans who'd hoped success would diversify, not narrow black representation. Into that tension swaggered Katt Williams, brandishing a stand-up mic like subpoena paperwork. 6 months ago, a YouTube clip surfaced. Katt on a podcast, eyes laser bright. Tyler Perry told his male actors not to hang around me because I saw him at a party and Eddie Murphy won't touch him with a 10-foot pole. Hollywood coughed. Katt has a history of hyperbole, yet receipts keep surfacing. Screenshots of private DMS where actors are advised to avoid Williams. A leaked casting call memo from a Perry-run show instructing talent to decline interviews with controversial comedians. The subtext is nuclear. Protect the brand at all costs, even if that means policing friendships. Katt's punchline landed harder because of who he name-dropped next. Jaguar Wright. Wright's stories don't rely on shadowy sources. She claims she was there, no phone allowed, and saw the whole thing. Jaguar Wright, neo-soul vocalist turned whistleblower, streams from a kitchen table, no glam squad, no sponsor wall. She says she recognized Tyler Perry at infamous freak-off gatherings. Men-only suites, confiscated cameras, NDAs thicker than phone books. Perry, she alleges, felt so exposed that he later blacklisted anyone who could place him in that room. Skeptics rolled eyes until Reuters and the Wall Street Journal detailed including testimony about no phone zones and a 2016 hotel hallway assault captured on CCTV. If prosecutors confirm cameo appearances, blurred faces sharpened by plea deal disclosures, Perry's wholesome brand could implode overnight. And federal courtrooms aren't the only places Perry's name appears in bold print this summer. June 13, 2025. Actor Derek Dixon files a 46-page complaint in Los Angeles accusing Perry of quid pro quo harassment dating back to 2019. He alleges unwanted advances, unsolicited thigh grabs, and a text that read, "What's it going to take for you to have guiltless C?" Perry's attorney calls it a scam. Dixon wants $260 million in punitive damages. Civil suits unlock discovery, and discovery means phones, iCloud visitor logs, the same digital breadcrumbs federal agents love to trace. Dixon's lawyers already subpoenaed guest manifests for Combs' Atlanta concerts, hoping to establish cross-event timelines. Even if Perry prevails, leaked depositions can carry more cultural weight than verdicts. Ask Harvey Weinstein. Long before Dixon, another loud voice said Perry used lies to tank a career. Her Oscar still sits on a shelf collecting dust. Monique's 2010 Oscar for Precious should have catapulted her into 8-figure paydays. Instead, when she refused unpaid international press, she was labeled difficult. A 2024 audio leak caught Perry admitting he'd helped spread that label. Monique demanded a public apology with the same volume. Perry offered private contrition at best. Financial analysts estimate Monique lost $20 to $25 million in potential earnings. Cultural analysts argue her exile signaled to black actresses that questioning the machine invites starvation. With Dixon's suit alive, Monique's receipts resurface weekly. Each retweet a reminder that silence isn't golden, it's rented. When legends speak in code about that silence, new generations listen. One of those legends has ice in his name and fire in his warnings. On a 2024 PBD podcast episode, Ice Cube glanced at the camera and said, "People are afraid to speak out. You see what happens to the ones that do." Hollywood operates on a dual rulebook system. Rulebook number 1 elevates safe storytellers. Think formula, predictability, easy foreign sales. Rulebook number 2 punishes those who color outside studio-approved lines. Cube's comment went viral among indie creators. They clipped scenes of Dave Chappelle walking away from $50 million, of Monique's empty phone, of Katt Williams' canceled tours, captioning each with the same 2 words, Rulebook 2. Tyler Perry mastered Rulebook 1. Eddie Murphy lives in a world without either, and that's where the real fear begins. Because when Eddie re-entered the spotlight this year, he didn't ask permission, he just posted one photo. July 4th, 2025. Eddie snaps a backstage picture. White tee, mic raised, caption, Happy Independence Day. No hashtags, no context. Within 2 hours, the image logs 10 million likes. Entertainment reporters scour comment sections for clues. Rumor mills insist Netflix quietly paid 8 figures for a surprise stand-up special. Eddie's rep neither confirms nor denies. What matters isn't the platform, it's the autonomy. Eddie moves when he wants, where he wants, without gatekeeper blessing. That fact alone spotlights the conditional nature of Perry's empire. Lucrative, yes, but brokered through relationships that can sour at any leaked video frame. Meanwhile, inside a Manhattan courthouse, prosecutors load hard drives labeled Party Footage Suite 17. Jurors lean forward. Hollywood execs hold their breath. June 10, 2025, BET Awards. Perry delivered a fiery monologue warning of erasure of black stories. Social media clapped, then clapped back. Critics called it hypocritical, noting simultaneous harassment allegations and stereotypes in his filmography. TikTokers stitched the speech with clips from Medea films depicting broken women and abusive men. Engagement soared, sentiment nosedived. Brands negotiating ad buys for Perry's BET Plus spin-offs requested pause clauses allowing exit if litigation worsens. Paramount's internal memo leaked the next day, citing reputational risk. Suddenly, the billionaire's microphone felt lighter than Eddie Murphy's casual Instagram post. That contrast hammers home a bigger theme. Authenticity outlasts strategy. The numbers tell the same story if you know where to look. Box office trackers tally the Medea cinematic universe at roughly $965 million domestic gross across 14 films. Impressive. Yet none cracked the $100 million mark individually, and overseas performance lags. Eddie's hit list counts fewer entries but broader cultural saturation. Shrek alone grossed $488 million domestic, cartoon voice or not. Financial heavyweights care about ROI, but cultural capital, quotes, memes, decades-long relevance, sits on another balance sheet. That sheet increasingly decides who survives scandal. Right now, Eddie's is flush, Perry's volatile. Volatility spikes when allegations mirror on-screen patterns. Let's rewind the films Perry keeps writing and ask why certain themes just won't die. Diary of a Mad Black Woman? Cheating lawyer throws wife out. Medea's family reunion? Incestuous uncle and a fiancé who beats his fiancée in an elevator shaft. Temptation? Woman strays, contracts HIV, finds redemption only through punishment. Over and over, trauma drives the plot. Healing when it arrives feels like sermon-wrapped surrender. Critics like Bell Hooks, before her 2021 passing, called Perry's work pathology porn, arguing the films reenact suffering rather than interrogate it. Social scientists now cite Perry fatigue among Black female focus groups, viewers who stopped watching because the pain felt relentless and unearned. If Jaguar Wright's claims are true, that Perry frequented parties notorious for exploiting power dynamics, then those movies might be less morality plays and more confessionals wearing costume jewelry. Allegory or autobiography? The audience can't unsee the overlap, and that audience is getting organized, digitally, globally, relentlessly. When Dixon's lawsuit dropped, TikTok creator at Legal T summarized the filing in 90 seconds. It hit 4 million views in a day. One swipe away, at Film Theory Queen posted a montage of Medea villains morphing into Perry red carpet images. YouTube reactors dissected leaked texts line by line. Digital media's half-life for scandal is short, but its reach is planetary. Studios once managed crises through trade papers and friendly morning show interviews. Now a single PDF sparks thousands of commentary clips, each with its own revenue stream and algorithm boost. Rulebook 1 never anticipated influencer subpoenas. So if the machine's rulebook is crumbling, what's left? Maybe it's time to study the man who never needed it. Murphy's secret isn't secrecy, it's selectivity. He records press only when there's a punchline he wants immortalized. He partners with studios on a project-by-project basis, never ceding long-term IP control. When Netflix dangled $70 million for 2 stand-up specials, he took the check, delivered one, Eddie Murphy Legend 2023, then shelved the second until he felt the material matched the brand, his brand. Agents who try to package Eddie complain off record that he returns calls when he feels like it. Publicists note he avoids Twitter fights by simply not tweeting. In an era where oversharing can torpedo multi-million deals, Eddie's minimalism reads like 4D chess. Rulebook 2 punishes rebels. Eddie plays on a board with no squares. That's why his laugh inside a Beverly Hills steakhouse carries more weight than a Perry keynote on resilience. But even Eddie isn't immune to Hollywood's shifting fault lines. If names, the blast radius could rattle every Rolodex. Scenario A, full leak. Prosecutors reduce Combs' sentence in exchange for raw footage. Media outlets slow blur faces, citizen detectives unblur them, and Tyler Perry appears at least once. Paramount yanks BET negotiations, advertisers flee, civil suits balloon. Perry steps back to focus on personal growth. Scenario B, partial leak. Names under NDA remain sealed, but guest lists leak. Rumor implicates Perry without definitive proof. Brand damage persists. He pivots to faith-based talk shows and philanthropic campaigns, a rehabilitation tour echoing Mel Gibson's post-scandal blueprint. Scenario C, no leak. Evidence stays under protective order. Perry outruns the cycle, betting audience short-term memory trumps controversy. This was once plausible, pre-TikTok. Now no leak is just marketing copy for hackers. Industry odds makers quietly favor Scenario B. Hedge funds price BET's valuation accordingly. But Hollywood's not the only stage in play. Political winds swirl whenever entertainment scandals cross into social justice territory. In state houses from Florida to Texas, lawmakers cite Perry's early church-centric films as proof Christian storytelling sells. Progressive critics counter with data showing Perry's stereotypes feed school board misconceptions about Black family life. Meanwhile, conservative pundits now leverage Perry's lawsuit drama to argue Hollywood's moral hypocrisy. The moment a private sex party lawsuit becomes campaign fodder, reputational triage turns existential. Netflix, Amazon, Disney all weigh risk differently when Capitol Hill starts quoting TMZ. So where does that leave Tyler Perry Studios, a physical kingdom once hailed as the Wakanda of Georgia? Let's walk the lot. Perry transformed an abandoned Confederate base into a backlot twice the size of Warner Brothers. Burbank HQ, streets named after black icons, Spike Lee Way, Oprah Winfrey Road, symbolize reclamation. But union crew members whisper about 14-hour days and non-union hires. The Los Angeles Times reported Perry averaged 20 pages per day, shooting pace on some series, triple the industry norm, leading to burnout and continuity errors. High-volume production thrills accountants but can sterilize craft. As Emmy voters lean sophisticated serials over procedural soap operas, Perry's factory model risks looking outdated, especially if top talent refuses to work under a cloud of allegations. Allegations, after all, are no longer whispers. They come with date stamps and litigant names, and sometimes unimaginable price tags. Since Dixon filed, 2 anonymous The Oval crew members submitted EEOC complaints mirroring his claims. Late-night texts, offers of raises for companionship. Attorneys hint a class action looms if Dixon's case survives the first hearing. Reuters notes the EEOC backlog averages 18 months, meaning documents could drip-feed headlines straight through 2026. Perry's lawyers push for dismissal. Judges rarely oblige without discovery. Translation: depositions likely. And depositions create transcripts, catnip for reporters. While legal teams spar, brand managers scramble. 2 critical assets hang in the balance: BT plus viewership and Perry's relationship with Paramount. Focus group research from Nielsen's 2025 Black Viewers Bold Voices report shows a pivot. Younger audiences crave nuance over moralizing, intersectionality over monologue. They binge Donald Glover's Atlanta, Issa Rae's Insecure, Boots Riley's I'm a Virgo. Stories messy, playful, refusing tidy endings. Tyler Perry's early work resonated because Hollywood offered so little else. In 2025, options abound and trauma fatigue is real. Eddie Murphy's upcoming stand-up, rumor says, jokes about raising a Gen Z daughter who prefers Abbott Elementary to Medea. Every laugh is a data point. Tastes evolve, and so must storytellers if they're free to evolve. Freedom, ironically, is what Katt Williams said this whole saga was about. Freedom from handlers, from image managers, from secret parties wielded like blackmail. But freedom isn't free. It comes with a receipt. Katt Williams has been arrested, blacklisted, and meme-ified, yet his ticket sales spike whenever controversy breathes. Eddie turned down easy franchise sequels for creative control. His net worth still hovers north of $200 million. Both paid and opportunities lost, yet neither faces active lawsuits accusing them of exploiting that power. Tyler Perry's empire, by contrast, required alliances. Lionsgate for distribution, Viacom for streaming, Oprah for brand elevation. Alliances mean leverage points, and leverage can twist into liability when tides turn. Rulebook 1 offered generational wealth at the expense of unfiltered expression. Rulebook 2 offered exile for speaking out. Eddie Murphy quietly drafted Rulebook 0. Own your voice, need no permission. Let silence speak louder than spin. As jurors debate Combs' sentence length and civil lawyers prep deposition cameras, Hollywood confronts a new reality. Rulebook 0 might be the only safe harbor left. Tonight, the sky over Fort McPherson crackles with July fireworks. Atlanta's celebration of freedom America promises but seldom perfects. Somewhere on those 330 acres, Tyler Perry may watch sparks and pray the next loud boom isn't a leaked video file. Meanwhile, Eddie Murphy polishes a 9-minute bit about Hollywood hypocrisy, timing each pause for maximum laughter. Katt Williams scrolls headlines, smirks, and drafts his next truth grenade. Jaguar Wright schedules another live stream. Derek Dixon meets with therapists and lawyers. Monique FaceTimes her grandbaby, reminding herself why she never took hush money. Ice Cube writes a bar so sharp it could slice marble. The credits haven't rolled, but the moral is already clear. Control built on secrecy shatters when the lights come on. Authenticity may stumble, may take blows, but it never needs blackout curtains. So the next time you stream a film, Medea swinging a purse, Eddie cackling as Donkey, Katt riffing about Illuminati. Remember, thunder only frightens those who believed the sky was silent. It never was. The question was who dared to listen. And if that thunder finally breaks above Tyler Perry Studios, one man won't be shocked. He tried calling years ago. Perry just never picked up.